It's a beautiful bacon day, Cookie Crusaders. As some of you may already know, the additional notice regarding the July 7th update has released, and we have gotten information about a change happening before the update comes. This is not something that traditionally happens, but this is proof that Dev Sisters and Cookie Run Kingdom are listening to the player base, and they hear your feedback. So, let's discuss that. After the update sneak peek was published on July 1st, you shared a lot of valuable feedback regarding the upcoming update. We appreciate all the comments and feedback greatly and wanted to share additional changes as well as further explanations on the features. So the upgrade system has remained without change for a long time, and that's true, it's been like 16 months. We believed that we needed a new system where users could experience fulfillment and joy by obtaining and training their cookies. So the main thing with what they're saying there is that they never intended it for it to be 5-star promotion and then you're done, because you want it to feel like you're continuously growing with the cookies, that you're continuously making them stronger. And it's hard to add completely different systems for upgrades without overpower scaling. So this is why the Ascension was brought up, because they really wanted to dive in deeper. And it ties in with the lore of all the other cookies sharing soul power with the ancient cookies. Now, granted that it does more tie in with the magic candies, but to share soul gem power doesn't mean magic candies are the only thing. The Ascension is a level of it too, because they're getting stronger, they're getting more power from feeds of friendship and bonds and all of that. So you can see how it lore-wise ties in for them upgrading, in addition to the magic candies that are being introduced as well. And so they said that down here, which is why they are introducing Cookie Ascension and magic candies. Many of you shared the feedback regarding the addition of these new upgrade systems. Some of you expressed concerns whether these additions and changes felt like a burden. So they understand that they don't want you to be burdened, and that they don't want it to be a complete grind with no reward, and that is why one of these changes is being made. Before we go on to explain the details of the changes, we want to apologize for all the concerns and worries. And in addition, listed below, we are planning many other improvements as well, and will continue to seek betterment for other parts of the game. So they do have all this in mind for all parts of the game, whether it be paid players, free-to-play players, returning players, it doesn't matter. They're thinking about all of these players. That way you can just jump in and have fun. So, the adjustments to the Cookie Ascension system. The total amount of Ascension Soul Stones required reduced by 50%. The Cookie Ascension system was first designed to alleviate some of the stagnation players felt when they began to finish collecting and upgrading all the released cookies, because myself, along with a whole bunch of other players, I'm sure, have gotten to that point where they are that level. Now, granted, I personally wanted to max level every cookie first before this kind of system came out. I understand why it didn't. And I could have probably done some updates and specific upgrades in my kingdom to have gotten there before this came out, because it's been a good amount of time, but that's my own fault. And so I can't really blame Dev Sisters and Cookie Run for that. But I will say that this does add another layer and another level to it. So now, being a completionist type of game player, I'm going to enjoy getting all these cookies maxed out. Even though it's going to take some time, even with a reduction, it's going to still take some time. So it's something more to strive for. Something more to level up and grow. And so I am excited for that. Since we intend it to be a way to further increase player excitement about growing and enjoying the game, we are planning reducing the total amount of Ascension Soul Stones required to avoid the system taking away some of that joy, which is the opposite effect of what we want. So now 20 Soul Cores, 30, 40, 50, and then 60 is all that's required. So it takes 20 for every one full cookie summon. At least it should be the same way if it applies the same way Soul Stones work. So that means if you add this up, you've got a total of 200. If 20 comes from each full cookie pull, you only need 10 full cookie pulls to fully get them max ascended now. So if you get like 10 cottons, 10 pure vanillas, 10 yams, whatever, whichever cookie you're trying to ascend, just 10 full versions of that cookie, you've got it. You've got it ascended now. That's at least if they are matching the way soul stones work. So like if you get a full cookie, you get 20 versions of the soul stones. If it's the exact same system, that's how it's going to work for the new one. So if that's the case, hopefully you get some lucky pulls when the cookie cutters come on the 7th, and you get some awesome draws. But we'll see. Even though we plan to alleviate some of the difficulty with the new Ascension system, a slight feeling of burden is unavoidable with the new upgrade system. And they're right. You can't add new features without some burden. There's no way to keep the game growing without a little bit of pain. So please be aware of this in the future, that if you really want things to not be stagnant, things are going to have to change. So being open to change is the best mindset to have for the game, truly. Furthermore, we plan to introduce events which rewards that will help players upgrade to cookies 5-star more easily. So for anyone that currently does not have a 5-star cookie of some sort, whether it be an ancient, a legendary, common, an epic, they're going to be putting out events that will help you get to 5 stars. So the levels that you've been seeing people at, such as myself with 5-star cookies, you're going to be able to get to that easier. So that's really nice that they are doing that. That's going to help some of the burden. So really, you're just going to be fighting for ascending cookies mostly, unless you're like a new player and you don't even have 1-star cookies. But that's okay. You'll get there. As well as an overall balance adjustment to rewards in the game. With this, we hope that all players will be able to enjoy the game more as we keep doing our best to provide an amazing gaming experience. Now, what I hope that they're saying by that is that legendaries and ancients will be easier to acquire. If that's the case, people will enjoy the game more. It's still going to probably be hard to get an ancient, but if it's currently 0.05% and they just up it to 2%, that's a massive amount for everybody, because now you have a 2 in 100 chance of pulls to get an ancient cookie all the way. So we'll see how they make those adjustments, and I'll document what's the before and what's the after so we can see the overall effect. But they're going to make it easier. That much we know. So adjustments to previously overtuned stat increases from Cookie Ascension. They are also reducing the amount of the power-up from the Ascension. This is the only part I'm sad about, because I was really hoping for this to be the reason commons and rares would have a lot more viability just in the first few weeks, because we would easily ascend those cookies to max level. And I wanted to see some teams that were running commons and rares against epics and ancients and doing so well. But I don't think that that's going to happen now. If they've lowered the power gap, then that means those cookies will probably not scale enough to really do a big enough amount. And so I still test it, of course, but I'm withdrawing my hopes of them being powerful enough to compete because of this demotion of power scaling. I could still be wrong, and I will gladly be wrong if that's the case, but that is at least my current thoughts. We decided that reducing the feelings of burden among players caused by the addition of new upgrade systems is our first priority, so we will be reducing the size of increments of the Ascension upgrades. And it was about a 10% increase for each Ascension, so it'll probably be about 4 to 5% now, most likely. Full ingredient refunds. This is important because with the magic candies, people were worried about how much they'd have to craft and spend to get these. So now you just have to invest coins. Get the materials, invest the coins. That's your only goal. That's as easy as I can simplify it. They've made it so you just spend the coins and have the materials. You'll help get those candies upgraded. We've only got 3 to worry about in this next update. I'm sure that there'll be more as we go. So just really work on those Tree of Wishes and other things that earn you coins. Otherwise, you will have some struggles in that area for getting these leveled up. And then, of course, the last point is the Soulstone mileage rewards. So now instead of having to get all the way up to an Ascended Cookie Max, you can now get some mileage as well as the rewards. So that means that you will have a chance to still get the mileage points, which I was discussing in my other video the other day, to use for treasure tickets or for soul stones if you need to max the cookie out first, because the soul cores can't be used until you got them at 5 stars. So whichever you need to use your mileage for, that's going to be an option. And they're giving us 90,000 mileage if you've got enough 5-star cookies at that point. So like for me, for instance, there should be no reason I don't get the full 90,000. Now that's 900 arena tickets. That's, I believe, 1,800 treasure tickets. So for anyone that's got enough 5-star cookies, you're going to get a huge bonus buff. I don't know how I feel about that because I have a lot of opinions on it. It'll be great for the people that need it. I'm happy for you. I really am. I don't personally need it, so it's really just a bonus for me. But yet again, they can't just give it to specific players because that would look really bad. So just expect this coming because that's one of the rewards they'll be giving. I would love your feedback on this new update. I would love to see what you think. Either way, I'm excited. I'm excited for the new update. I'm going to be streaming it on Thursday morning. I'm shooting for around like 7:45, 7:50 a.m. And I'm going to be streaming for a couple hours on all the new updates. Very excited to see what we get, what we can do with it, how Financer Cookie's looking. We've almost forgotten about Financer just because of how much is going on. So there's quite a lot to be excited for. Either way, thank you so much for stopping by and watching the video. I'd love to hear all of your feedback, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.